Thank you for joining us today for our webinar on the future of the Internet of Things in the manufacturing industry. Today we'll be talking about the history of manufacturing, how a few companies are currently using the Internet of Things, and finally some examples of how the Internet of Things could be used in the future to do anything from streamlining processes to improving inventory management. Over the past 250 years, manufacturing has completely transformed itself. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. In the late 1700s, the first mechanical looms were created. This revolutionized the industry. Now cloth could be created in a fraction of the time than if it was manually weaved. The next revolution came in the mid-1800s with the creation of the assembly line and the first machines that ran on electricity. This too drastically reduced the time to create a product and reduced the number of people required to produce the products. The third revolution occurred right before the turn of the century with the integration of computers and automated systems. The assembly lines now became faster, more efficient, and required even less human interactions than before. The fourth industrial revolution is just starting. This revolution, which will lead us to Industry 4.0, involves placing sensors on equipment and using the information collected to improve efficiencies and further reduce human interactions with the machinery. This revolution has the potential to streamline efficiencies, reduce headcount, and improve the quality of products like we've never seen before. In the U.S. manufacturing industry, the Internet of Things is starting to become a prominent theme. 38% of manufacturing companies use embedded sensors on their products, and 35% of manufacturing companies are collecting data from smart sensors. Additionally, 70% of manufacturing companies surveyed by PwC say that an Internet of Things strategy is extremely or moderately important. Over the next few years, plan to see significant growth in the IoT market in manufacturing. In fact, it's projected that we'll see 13% growth every year through 2020. So how are manufacturing companies currently using the information they're collecting from the Internet of Things? Let's see how 3 companies are leading the way. We all know Airbus for building planes, but they've also recognized that information from the Internet of Things can help them improve quality and reduce costs. Airbus created a department known as the Factory of the Future. Engineers here are working to identify areas that can be improved by information and design solutions that translate information into business solutions. The Factory of the Future is in its early days, but they already have implemented 2 initiatives. The first one involved creating and distributing mixed reality application or Mira tablets to employees in the factory. These tablets capture videos from the real environment and create 3D models that can be manipulated and accessed for work and production. Airbus is also updating its factories with internet-connected smart tools. These tools can predict the actions that an operator must take next and can automatically adjust the tool to the proper task. These smart tools also have the ability to monitor and log results, which can be used for quality certifications. Siemens is also using data from the Internet of Things to help streamline processes and reduce the number of employees needed on the manufacturing floor. For example, in one of its plants, RFID sensors are attached to empty shampoo bottles. These sensors communicate with the machines to tell them what kind of shampoo the bottle needs to be filled with, how much shampoo the bottle can store, and what label goes on the bottle. Not only does this reduce the number of employees needed on the manufacturing floor, but it also reduces the time to get the shampoo ready for distribution. Finally, Continental AG, which produces tires, is using data collected from the Internet of Things to help move components around its factories. In the past, tire components were difficult to locate, but Continental recently attached RFIDs on each container of tire components. When more of a tire component is needed, geolocation services are used to quickly find the tire component and alerts forklift drivers where the container is located. So what does the future hold? According to the research that we showed you before, we know that more manufacturing companies will be implementing IoT solutions in their factories. However, new ideas can be challenging to come up with. In the next few slides, we put together some examples of what some potential IoT solutions could look like. The IoT has the potential to greatly improve processes in factories. Today, many companies have their manufacturing facilities set up with what they think are the best routes for employees, machinery, and components. However, many times needs change, workflows stop working, or employees veer off track and create their own paths through the factory. By attaching sensors to forklifts, employees, and components, management can see how people and things are actually moving throughout the factory. By seeing how people and things are moving, management can see if aisles need to be rearranged, employees retrained to current workflows, or if new workflows should be created to reflect new business needs. These improvements can lead to more efficient production and can lead to higher production rates. The IoT can also help with inventory management challenges. Many companies do not proactively monitor inventory. Most companies have electronic inventory management systems, but they still rely on manual inventory checks to ensure inventory is properly stocked on the floor. If inventory runs out on the floor, production has to be stopped until more inventory can be located, and the container can be restocked. Sensors can be placed at certain levels within a container, and when the inventory goes below the sensor, employees are alerted that the inventory needs to be replenished or reordered. By having these alerts in place, components will not run out on the floor, so production levels will increase. Also, if the parts need to be reordered, the company will know well ahead of time so they can avoid paying rush fees on the required components. This idea can also be used in order to detect if containers are reaching their capacity. If a container of assembled parts is nearing its capacity, an employee can be alerted to remove or empty the container. This can be also used with waste containers. Currently, most factories act independently, even if they are owned by a company that operates multiple factories. Each factory has a staff that operates the machinery, a management team, and groups of technicians, both a group of highly skilled techs and a group of less experienced techs. Companies sometimes only want to have the highly skilled technicians on hand so the techs can fix problems that arise, no matter how difficult the problem is to fix or how simple. They do this because it would be very costly to have a machine offline for an extended period of time while a highly skilled technician is located and makes their way to the factory. However, many times the problems that arise are small and can be fixed by someone with less expertise and ultimately cost less to employ. When machines are connected to the internet, companies that own several manufacturing facilities can have each factory connected to a central monitoring facility staffed by a small group of highly skilled techs. If a problem arises, the centrally located technicians can remotely access the machinery and make the necessary corrections or adjustments to the machines. This allows each separate facility to have on staff fewer highly trained technicians and also reduces the risk of a factory being offline for an extended amount of time since the remote technicians would be available 24/7. Many factories simply throw out defective parts. However, sensors can log how many defective parts are passing through a machine. The machinery can be programmed to alert employees if a certain number of defective parts pass through the machines within a certain time period. The batch could also be further inspected or replaced with a new batch to increase production levels. The machinery can also be programmed to determine if the part is okay, but the machinery needs an adjustment to handle the part. If an adjustment is needed, it can be automatically made in real time without stopping production. These are but a few examples of how the Internet of Things could help manufacturing in the future. The next few years will be a very exciting time in this industry, and we can expect great improvements in the quality of goods and efficiencies throughout factories. To learn more about Intrigna, our Artist product, and how we can help you create solutions for the Internet of Things, please visit our website at intrigna.com or email us at info@intrigna.com.